So I'm here today with ESPN reporter Shelley Smith. So thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
So we've heard all this controversy with these UCLA basketball players. They're still in China. Their situation is still unclear. So what are your thoughts on this situation?
I don't know anything firsthand. I know everything from my colleague, Arash Markazi, who was over there on a different assignment. He was there to do social media for e-games, for electronic games, and suddenly the news breaks that LaMelo Ball was arrested and two others were arrested for shoplifting at Louis Vuitton. And so I only know what he has reported and what has been reported in the LA Times. But I know it's very serious, and I know they weren't able to come home with the team last Saturday night, I believe. And they probably won't be out for another week or two, according to Arash and his sources.
And do you think that this could affect college students who are looking to play abroad with their schools?
I don't think so. I think they must have made some sort of mistake for them to be kept by the authorities. I don't know what it was. I don't want to presume guilt or innocence, but something happened to lead the authorities to think that they did something wrong. I don't think there will be a carryover effect to other schools, but they're in some trouble. I believe that they are in some deep trouble. I understand today President Trump asked the Chinese government to look into it, which is interesting as well.
Yeah, I mean, this UCLA is well known for, the academics and their sports, but now they're in this, global spotlight because of this incident. And do you think that maybe athletic departments might start, having more serious conversations with their students before heading out to an international game?
I have no doubt that Steve Alford, who is a very fine coach, had this conversation with his student athletes, but they're young. They're not fully adults. They're probably 17, 18 years old. I don't know exactly how old they are. So everyone can make mistakes, but you just don't do it in a situation where it could wind you up in a whole lot of trouble in a foreign environment. And I imagine that that will be a conversation that athletic directors and schools and coaches will have with their players wherever they go, but especially overseas.
And you were mentioning how you saw a lot of this coverage thanks to your colleague and how he's been posting on social media. So how do you think that this avenue has been helpful for other journalists and people in the community to learn about this?
Arash went to school here at Annenberg, and he's a journalist first. And so he was there to do these e-games, and suddenly the news breaks, and his journalism background came into play. And it was so wonderful to see him break the story. The LA Times did not have a reporter there, which was stunning. I'm sure they regret it now, but it's economic times are tough for travel, and Arash was there, and he reported a lot of the stories on his iPhone, which shows you what the technology can do. We eventually got him a camera crew and a producer, but a lot of this initial breaking news was on his iPhone, which shows you can just do about anything. And he is a hero to me because of his journalism background, and he was able to jump into that story right away and report it as a journalist.
And do you think that after this incident, maybe now more news organizations are going to be like, hey, let's send some reporters now that, I don't know, USC is sending a team to, I don't know, somewhere in Europe or something? Or
I think it still all comes down to money. And if you have the money, then maybe, yeah, but if you don't send someone because you think something's going to happen, but that's another good reason to send someone because something might happen. And it's just a matter of who, what, where, when, and what the money is. And the money is tough right now.
And then we do have the element that one of the players was Ball, so
there is that. There is that. He is a very high-profile player at UCLA, and his father was over there doing business with Big Baller Brand, and Lonzo, of course, with the Lakers. So yes, there is that element that you have probably the biggest name in Los Angeles sports right now, and his little brother is involved. So yes, there's that.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Thanks for taking a couple of minutes to respond to some of our questions.
You're welcome.
Thank you.